Now, in this video, we will going to discuss about the design and design thinking. So here, a good design is associated with a product or service that is easy to use and interact with. When we talk in general, when we want to have simple products which you want to use it, if you are able to use easily and in a most simplified manner, then we say this product is good. So the design is good. So that is how the design will going to be associated with the product. So for example, if you are considering a smartphone, they have been designed to be addictive, to have consumers hooked. So that means when you are considering the smartphones, you should be able to use the smartphones more effectively and should be easily able to use it. So that means the consumer should be always be hooked to that particular smartphone. Or consider a push notifications in a social media applications, which can be an Instagram or it can be a Facebook. So that means when you are giving an advertisements, say for example, the advertisements are so much effective and they will going to make the user to be get interested in that particular advertisement, and the users or the customers or the people will be always thinking about that particular advertisement, so that when they will going to get the interest in looking into that, these notifications will going to become the triggers of interaction with the content of interest to increase the engagement rates with the service. So that is how they will going to make the people to be get involved. So this is the design in design thinking. They will going to develop the design, or they will going to make that advertisement which is more effective and the most effective, so that the people will going to get interest in that particular advertisement or the product. So this is how the design will going to play a major role. For a successful design to happen, the designers, scientists or engineers and business people come together to collaborate and share skill sets in the following ways. That means the designer will have his own skills, the scientists or engineers will have their own skills, and the business people who are been getting involved will also have their own skills. All these skills will come together, they will going to share among themselves in the following ways. What are those? One is the feasibility, that is engineer scientists, and desirability, that is the designers, and viability, that is the business people. So designers ensure the desirability of the product or service because they can emphasize easily with the end user and are good at capturing and expressing emotions. So that means ensure the desirability of the product or service. So here the service, the one which is the product and or the service, it can be a product or it can be a serviceable market, and they can be able to emphasize on the end user. Who are their end user? They are the customers, and capturing and expressing emotions. They create new things and are used to creating mock-ups and sketches to visualize their ideas and share them with others, which is the key for experimenting and testing. The designers, the main use is, of course, if they want to develop the product, they need to have the drawings or the sketches which they need to do it. So what they do is they will first write the rough sketches. That means a freehand sketches will going to be written, and they will going to imagine the things and their ideas, what the best way they can be able to use. So like for example, if you are considering the police stick, so that police, what will going to be the application of that? So they may be using it for controlling the mob. That is their main application. But under the same time, it should be more effective and it should be light in weight. It cannot have a hard one. You cannot have a wooden stick because it will going to be heavy. So we need to think about the plastic. That means the stick which they should use will going to have a light in weight, and at the same time they should be able to have they should not be able to break when it is hit. So and also, so that is how they will going to start thinking what type of material they can use it and how best they can be able to use it, and that is how the design thinking will going to take place. And for example, if you are taking a pen, how that pen is manufactured and what are their applications. It should be able to have a proper grip, and you should be able to have the durability, that is the lifetime should be more, and we cannot have, and the ink has to flow properly, and the needle or the tip should have the ball. All those things which are going to be thought before actually taking into that product. So that is in similar way they will going to have they will going to create the sketches and their ideas, and they will going to discuss with the others, so that if they discuss with the others, then what happens, one more person will going to have the some other idea which will be better than the one what I am thinking. So that is how they will going to get the new ideas. So then these are all the key things which is needed for experimenting and testing. So once the drawing has been established, they go for the manufacturing of the product, and then they will going to go for the experiments and make the testing. So this is the process which is going to be involved in the development. Of course, it depends on the individual development of the product. So then it comes with the business people, who are the research existing market offerings. They perform competitive analysis, collect data about the size of the market, and interview experts looking for trends, either social or environmental, technological or political, and read industry reports. So the main thing of the business people is, of course, they will be concentrating on the market. When we talk about the market, what they do, they will going to collect the data about the size of the market. Very good example is the recent conducting of the election survey of the election results. What they do, they will going to take the questionnaire. Once they develop the questionnaire, and they will going to take the group of people, and they will going to analyze them. They will going to keep on asking the questions. The same questions will going to be asked for n number of people, and how they will going to give the response, and they will going to collect all those data, and then by doing the analysis, they will going to say, so this party will going to win and this party will going to lose. So this is how the analysis will going to be takes place when you are going for the election results. In the similar way, when we want to develop the product, that product may be a new one or it can be the existing one, and they will going to develop the questionnaire, and they will going to talk with the people, and they will going to interview some of the experts and looking for trends. And they may say, they will going to suggest you can do this in a better way like this. So that is the way because I am the person who have been developing But there are people who will going to think more than what I can think. So if it is becomes feasible, if I think that method what he has been suggesting is better, then we will try to incorporate that in our product. Either social or environmental. What is that environmental? The environmental changes, how that product will going to behave on the environmental changes, and it may be a technological or political. And some people will go, they have to read the industrial reports, like what is the current trends in the market, how that product is developing, or is there any the lacuna in that particular product which is already existing. Suppose if it is a new one, and if you need to become a competitor to the other for the product, then how that product has been established in the in the market, and your competitor, how he is marketing, how he is able to, how the product of your competitor, but on what upon you can improve on those particular product. Suppose if you consider the washing machine, so we have lot of companies who are developing the washing machine, but still some people will some people will go only one particular type of washing machine of the company, because they may be fond of with that company for a several number of years, which is already they are using. That is one way of thinking. But some people will go from the technical point, and some people will going to go from the aesthetic appearance, and some people will have the short period of thinking, and some people will going to have the long period of thinking, if you are especially going for the purchase of vehicles. So these are all the people who will go, different types of people who will going to be having the different tastes. Then according to those tastes, the people will going to make the market survey and trying to incorporate all those things in this particular product. So this is all, and these tastes of the people will keep on changing according to the requirement, as the progressively over the number of years, the thinking of the people will going to be keeps on changing, and their approaches are different. Like in the olden days, we need to have only one single pen, we need to change the refill. But today it is not like that. You just take one particular pen, use it and throw it, and take the next one. So that is how. So then according to that requirement, now the material has become less the lightweight, and it is used, since it is a use and throw, you make the quality, they may be able to reduce on the external thing, but not on the actual pen. So this is how the people will going to start thinking. According to those requirements, we will going to develop. So they provide a recap of findings in presentations with market forecasts, and make strategic recommendations supported by calculations on expected ROI. What is that? Return on investments. So once the data has been collected, and then once the market has been established, or the market forecast has been done, and they need to estimate, so how much investment you need to do on the product, how much investment which has to be need from the investment has to be done on the product. So once the cost has, once the expenditure has been taken care of, say for example, so maybe investing about 100 crores on a one particular product development. So over a period of number of years, how much time it will going to take to get back my money back? That is what is called return on investments. So the product has to be developed. Suppose if you are starting up with a new company, so what are all the cases which you are going to be get? What are all the things which is required? So like the building, the plan, of course the area, then on machinery, then on power, then on human resources. And these are all the investments on the investment part of it. Once you do that mission and everything, everything has been established, then will comes with the running costs, like the material involvement, and then the human resources, then the manufacturing aspects of those things, and then the sale, that is the marketing. So when you put together, one it is on the dead investment, and on the other one is the running cost. These two put together will going to come on the investment part. But the dead investment will not be taken into the consideration of the, suppose if it is 50 crores, I cannot say that 50 crores will going to come within 3 years. It is not possible. But they will going to get some percentage on each part. They will going to take away from some percent on the each part, and they will going to develop. Even the building of yours own, but the rent will going to be fixed, so that on that is what you will going to, that is how you will going to get the return on investment on that particular product. So normally if you go to the street vendor, the cost of the vegetable what you purchase from the street vendor will going to be always less, or when you go to a mall. Why? Because when you go to a mall, they will going to have the return on investment, because their investment is the mall's rent, then the power, then the people involved, their salaries, all those things which are going to be added on. But when you go to the street vendor, they don't have any, that is the building, so naturally that building cost is reduced, and also they don't have people, so that salaries for those people will not be there. So that is how they will going to deduct the things, so that you will going to have the lesser price for when you are taking the vegetables from the street vendor. But whereas when it go to the malls, it keeps on adding, and when you try to compare between the two, it will almost double when you are taking into the when you are taking it in a mall. So this is how the return on investment will go to be talks about. So that is the meaning of the return on investments. Next, engineers, scientists conduct technological research, researching patents, reading recent findings, technical documents, and potential sources for product or service development. So of course this comes purely on the technical aspect of the product. Once you are trying to develop the product, so naturally if it is a research part, that means it is already, if the product is not existing, or the product which you are developing a new one, and if it is of much more useful to the society, so then you can apply for a patent. That is, your researching patent can also be done. And reading recent findings, like how these products will going to be developed, how the projects will going to be established. So what are all the developments which has been taken place till today on the one which you are trying to develop, and why you are selecting those products. So this is already been done to this extent. So that is what is called recent findings. Till to that we are already it is available. So from that I am producing, from that I am improving it on this and do further research. Technical documents, of course, for everything we need to have a document, and potential sources of products are the service developments. So they analyze crash reports and conduct calculations. What is that? Like when you are going for a automobile, say for example, normally now today's trend is you are going to have airbags. Why that airbag is there? Suppose if there is a sudden crash, how the driver or the co-driver or the next to the driver in the front seat, how their life will going to be protected. So that is what is called crash reports, and conduct calculations. They sum up findings with technical notes and reports and suggest alternative technologies or designs. So everything has been documented, and all those things which will be submitted as a report, and suggest alternative technologies for the designs. In design thinking, one core strength is that it's okay to be wrong, to be breaking things. It's okay to put something out there and have people critique and challenge it, because there is a nugget inside something failing, and design thinkers will only find the right solution after failing. So this is how you will be able to get the things. And in the next video we will going to talk about the design thinking in is intuitive thinking. Thank you.